step is to go ahead and add the colors into the sunrise in the clouds. And to do that, I brought a couple different colors. This is a cadmium yellow, and I didn't bring it in this type of acrylic, but this is by Academy. It's a good yellow, and it lasts a long time. And it's not bright like a lemon yellow. It's more of an earth tone, and so that's why I really like it. So we'll start over here, and you notice that I hardly put any on the brush, any at all. And you can see how it's already starting to blend in. So just take it out of the tube. Just kind of touch the tube with your brush. And kind of wisp it along. I left some voided areas with the white around, and so let's just add a little bit more. I know up here it's more white. I'm going to add a little more color to this particular piece. So basically you do the same thing. I said at first, generally you go in a clockwise position, and you do. But sometimes you need to go counterclockwise. And what I'm getting here, and this is a great example, are just little spots of yellow. So what I'm going to do is something that I generally don't do when I'm making clouds, but I'm going to go ahead and add a little water. And see how that helps blend. See how it takes that yellow spot away. This cadmium yellow is very, very pigmented, and it covers extremely well. So a lot of times you will have to add just a tad bit of water just to keep it going here. Now remember, while you're adding your peach, yellow, and white pigments in here, keep in mind that our lighthouse is going to be about right here where this brush is. So what we want to do, and if you notice here, I added a lot of color around the lighthouse so that the lighthouse would stick out more. If I had the lighthouse against a paler blue sky or white clouds, it wouldn't show up as well. So that's why I add more around the area where the lighthouse is going to be. Let's put a little bit more over here. A little bit more up here. And you know, most oftentimes what I do after I get through doing a sky, I'll step back from the painting and realize, oh, okay, I need a little more over here, or I need a little more over there. So what you don't get the first time, you'll get around to it the second time when you stand back and look at it. Now here you start seeing the clouds in the sky. Here I put a little more yellow. Generally in the morning sky you'll see most of the more colorful clouds in the lower horizon. So that almost looks like maybe there might be a storm coming somewhere, doesn't it? It's a little darker. It's kind of dramatic. It's very pretty. In fact, if we wanted to, we could add a deeper gray to the blue mixture here, like a tad bit of black, and just add some more dramatic dark clouds. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to deal with the morning sunshiny clouds. Okay, and this is called, believe it or not, this paint is called pumpkin. It doesn't look like pumpkin to me. It looks more like a coral peach kind of a thing. But it's really a nice color for the sky. So let's just kind of blend that in. See how that's just kind of coming along. And I may have to do something with this as well, like adding some water. Not yet though. See how those clouds are beginning to really take shape? Most clouds, when they get closer to the horizon, flatten out. When they get closer to the top of the sky or the top of the picture, they become more fluffy. It has to do with some kind of atmospheric condition, but I have no idea what it is. Okay. So let's add, like I did here, let's add a little, I think our lighthouse is going to be about right in here. So what I want to do is I want to add a little more peach where that lighthouse is going to be, so it really sticks out. Okay. Now, like I did with the yellow, I'm going to add just a tad bit of water, dry my brush real well, and continue. And when you're doing a picture and you're thinking about doing the sky, just imagine in your head all the beautiful skies that you've seen. And if you're trying to copy a picture, don't try to copy it, because you'll just get frustrated, and every cloud formation is different. See, I'm using this as an example, but this is just kind of a totally different type of sky. Sometimes you see clouds go up. They're trying to create some kind of a system up there. What I'll do is let's put a little more peach in there. Pumpkin, they call it. Now, a lot of times, if your canvas is a little wet and you rub it too hard, that's why I say don't let your brush do the work, for sure. Don't push too hard. But if you do, then what happens is the paint will rub off and you can see the fibers in your canvas. I mentioned earlier. Oh, I think that looks very pretty. Let's add a little more peach down here. And that kind of is telling me that over in the east, see, we're facing south when we're looking at the lighthouse from the point where I'm painting from. The east would be to our left. So what it tells me is that the sunrise as well is kind of cloudy. All right. Then what I'm going to do is, now that I'm done, I see that I really want a little bit more white up here. Oh, also, I neglected to add the colors down here. Now you know that there's some peach in here, so there'll be some peach in here. And there'll also be some yellow. Not here so much, because this ends up being trees. So this will be your reflection of maybe tree. I don't think a reflection of trees, just like I showed you, just grasses along the salt marsh. think that's a nice reflection in the water. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, what I'm going to do is go ahead and add a little bit more white up here. I just need a better balance in the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and, since I got this yellow in, these will be the clouds in the background, and these will be the clouds in the foreground. There. So I think we're pretty much through with the sky. Like I said, it doesn't look like this. Every sky's different. It's a different morning. So what I'm going to do next is concentrate on the landscape, and then we'll do the lighthouse. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and dry it. So then my next step is, now that we have the sky in, and we're going to do the trees and some of the salt marsh. But in order to do that, I want to kind of figure out where I'm going to put the lighthouse, and I've already done that. So I'm going to put the lighthouse basically right here. And that will be up probably about as far as this. This is just a basic straight line that kind of tells me, okay, this is where it's going to be. This line, if you could possibly see it, is the difference between the sky and the water. It's a very, very subtle difference. But even on some cloudy days, there is no line. There is no distinguish between light and, or between water and sky. So what we're going to do is kind of just sketch in our lighthouse very, very lightly. This goes, see, you start with a little top of a triangle. This roof goes back at this angle. This roof comes up a little bit, as you can see here now. If you go down and you get closer, you take a picture, you'll see that this roof actually goes out, comes up, and then comes down at an angle like this. So instead of being a straight horizontal, it kind of curves out a little bit. And don't worry about it being perfect. You know what? That's the good news about paint. You can always add a bush, and it covers up your mistakes. So basically, here's your little roof. Now you'll notice that here and here, this is the center point for our lighthouse. You notice that if you go to the end of the roof here, the back of the roof, straight up, that's your center point. So, this is our center point right here. This is where the lighthouse is going to be, the light tower. And then from there, you can go out, and you know that it's very big. In fact, the lighthouse itself goes all the way down to the end of this roof. It's a very, very big lighthouse. So anyway, that's basically what we're going to work on after I get the trees in. So I want to just kind of sketch this out to say, hey, look, this is where it's going to be, so that we don't have to put some bright colors in there and then find out that we need 7 layers of white to cover it up. So our next step is, let's go ahead and do some grasses. Grasses are really fun. Now for grasses, I use a color called arbor green, which is appropriate, and the tree arbor green. Golden sunset's another really nice color. And here again, my cadmium yellow really works as far as the blending. If I want something, this is a pretty subtle, but if it was a very bright day, and let's say the sky was black behind here, basically it's going to be the sun, but there's probably a rainbow. You know how things really brighten up on when you get dark skies, things become lighter. This could be used to your brighter cadmium yellow in here. So if I need to use that, I will. Also black. You need a little black. This arbor green is a nice color, but in order to create the edges of your shore, the water, you'll want a little darker color, because where the grasses meet the water, it's always darker. It has to do with the soil.